In honor of today's holiday, we've come up with a wave for Marvel Legends to fit the bill. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Strong Collectors Podcast. I'm your host, Dakota, here with my co-host, Jordan, and today we've come up with a wave that we think Hasbro should be putting out as part of their fall time special. This is going to be a fully Native American wave, and we've got the 7 figures. One's not going to come with a Build-A-Figure piece, but in all, you are going to build a Build-A-Figure, even though Hasbro's, maybe putting that on the back burner, maybe it's a thing of the past. Here at the Strong Collectors, we're still building those Build-A-Figure waves for them. So, Jordan, what do you have as your first? And we'll go kind of back and forth, and then you've got the Build-A-Figure at the end.
I do, yes. So one that I think we definitely need is going to be Werewolf, who I was doing a little bit of reading, Dakota. I didn't quite realize is one of Marvel's first Native American superheroes, and has had. I don't see the character show up a lot. I know he was in the Avengers Forever storyline, so I think I maybe do remember him popping up there because there's kind of like a Kang thing where I think Kang comes to the past and sees him, but he's got sort of the wolf spirit, and then has kind of had some different iterations over the years. But I think he would be a cool one to get, and I think a cool character to see more of. But I feel like Hasbro could do some cool tooling, sculpting, give him some great accessories, and I think he'd have room to do other looks too. I mean, I guess there's more of his, like where he's got the wolf skin and kind of his gear. There's other looks that are kind of more cowboy-y, but I would imagine they'd want to do kind of the more wolf look for him. I think he might have had that look in Avengers Forever, and that was kind of a big storyline for him. So that'd be my pitch for a character that we would definitely need in that line.
Yeah, I would be happy to see that. The first one I've got on my list is one that we have fairly recently, and we've got a couple versions, but I think we need a update of the classic, and that's a Warpath. So I think that would go well with your X-Force type characters. The last one we had was pretty good, but I think that we could I think the shoulder pauldrons were kind of like they would pour it in, but they'd come off possibly easy. I don't know. There's definitely pins in that figure. But the one thing I think that we would need with this that would probably be the hardest part of it is I feel like we would need an alternate head where it's got like the knife like sculpted in. Because I feel like there's so many, like when I was just Googling Warpath, it's like every other picture he's like got 2 knives in his hand and he's got a knife in his mouth.
Right.
Or it's like he's like coming out like, stealth mission style. For some reason, he's always chewing on a knife, but I think that'd be a cool.
You never know when you're going to need that mouth knife, so.
Right.
And you can't get that unless you had it. No, that's a good point.
So that's one of the accessories I think we need added in to, really sell this new Warpath.
Would he have more of like his classic look, or what's kind of the
I think you're going more of his like.
Gotten some.
Yeah, we just got the X-Force, like the silver and black, so I don't think, obviously that's good to go. Don't need another one of those. I'm going just like that classic, kind of those bigger shoulders with the tassels, the reds and blues. I think that's what we got to go with. Kind of just like an update of the Strong Guy wave.
Right. That was one I thought of, Warpath, and I wasn't sure since I know we've gotten looks, but I think you could use an update.
Folks, I need your help. I'm trying to think of a good way to cut in and say you should subscribe, because some people are not subscribed, as you can see from this graph that I show very often. I'm trying to do this creatively, but I'm at a bit of a loss. So let me know in the comments, how do I get people to subscribe? Are people subscribing right now because of this?
Is this helpful or not?
Am I doing anything? Is this something? Am I doing something now? I don't know.
Just subscribe, please. I could say an honorable mention, I thought it was Forge as well.
Yeah.
But I know we've gotten Forges recently, so we're probably good on Forge for a while. But
true.
Definitely one that I was wondering. But I don't know. Maybe does he have other looks that we haven't quite seen yet? Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like we've kind of got the look that people would want. Covered. Yeah, I think so. I'll do some digging. Maybe there's, start putting out those Hellfire looks, and maybe he's got a cool Hellfire Gala look.
Keep it going. I dig it. Okay, so shifting a little bit. This one, I think we can get away with it, Dakota. But I was thinking a Kahori for sure. That We both like that character, and yes, this is a comic wave, but I think we could get away with it because she's unique enough of a character.
She's been in comics.
Has she been in comics officially?
She was in like that TVA comic, I thought.
All right, so then there we go. So you don't even have to brand it as What If. You could, or you could just, have it part of the line. I think it would be fun, her coming with some more of those effects. I don't know how much we can get away with as just a regular release. Potential hack, though, if she doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece, maybe she comes with a little more effects going on. So I think Kahori would be a must for this wave.
I like that. And, building off of the Kahori, we're obviously going to need a Spirit Rider Kushala in this wave. I'm not going to let it go without having her in the wave.
Yeah,
I've said it so many times, Hasbro. If you're hearing any of these, she's got to come with the alternate head where it's half Ghost Rider, half Kushala. I feel like that's a must. That's like one of the main covers. How she looks. Got to get the spell effects.
Oh yeah,
I think that's a no-brainer for this wave, and getting her and Kahori in one shot. Oh, I'm a happy camper.
Ooh yeah, it could finally happen. Dakota.
Yeah.
She does have a cool look, though. I think that is a cool character that I think would be popular. So I don't know. I guess maybe it's just because you've hyped her up so much. I don't know if there's.
Yeah, that's true. You probably haven't read. I mean, she's not in very many books.
I don't know other people. Maybe they are, though. Maybe other people are calling.
There's at least one other person out there like me that
you've
would
at least
want it.
brought me. Yeah, you brought me into the fold, so I'm there with you. Okay.
While we're delusioning about these action figures, you can get your real action figures over at GoNewMeta.com. Use code STRONG101 to get 10% off. They've got a sales tab now, stuff up to 40% off. Doing a big holiday thing. Save yourself some money, get yourself some toys. Win-win, everybody's happy.
One that I was thinking of, so in a way, this is maybe a little of a cheat as a 2-in-1. But I was thinking we could do an Echo, but it's Echo as Ronin. And you can push back on this if you'd like, Dakota, because I think we could use just a regular Echo character. I don't know if in the interest of Hasbro being we want to, because there's obviously no, I don't think hot sellers that are, like your Iron Man, Spider-Mans, whatever in this way.
Right.
So Ronin to me would be a little more recognizable character where she did have that guise, and you could have the alternate heads where it is Echo, but you also get the Ronin head, and that would satisfy people. I think we are due for a new Ronin, but I would be okay with these being separate releases. But my pitch to the feasibility for Hasbro, since they're listening, would be you could get away with doing a 2-in-1 and putting Ronin in the set.
Okay. Yeah, I think that one is probably out of our whole list here. That's the one I'm least excited about because I would rather have a classic Echo or even a Phoenix Echo, which, full transparency, I've never read a single comic where Echo ever shows up in it. But based off of the looks of...
But you like that look.
What I've seen when I Google search it,
good.
I think the classic is cool, and I think that would display better with your Daredevils and stuff.
I'm a big fan of this character. I've loved them ever since I first saw them in a Google search, and I've been a follower.
Right. I mean, have you read comics with Echo in it?
Not really. I mean, I think maybe she's shown up in when Bendis was doing Daredevil stuff, because that was a character he made, and then he was writing Daredevil. So, and then technically, I guess, New Avengers, but I may have thought it was just Ronin or something. So, no, I really haven't read. I think she's popped up in, maybe those two stories, but I haven't read any of the solo Echo stuff. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think for my shelf, if I'm displaying a Ronin black-suited ninja, meh.
Yeah.
More of the classic look. I just feel like that would look better with the street level characters. But again, maybe if I read one of these comics, maybe I'd change my tune.
Yeah. Well, then we could save a Ronin for later. You get a Hawkeye head or something, maybe.
True.
So.
Alternate torsos.
Oh yeah, just poured them out. Well, I think they have the same between them.
I just
think
think
they were
one's
drawn
got boobs
exactly
and
the
one
same.
doesn't.
They were drawn this. I think it was kind of a Bendis twist because I was reading up on this, Dakota, where originally he had Ronin, and the Bendis I think has said he wanted it to be Daredevil originally in disguise, but either fans guessed it or there was some kind of editorial pushback, so he changed it to another character, Echo. But I think it was kind of not decided.
Huh.
But then I think somehow Hawkeye later becomes Ronin. So,
Hawkeye wasn't the first?
No, not in those original
Whoa.
books, I don't believe. I think he took on the identity later
Okay.
when he comes
Maybe I
back
do ought to
to
read a book,
life.
huh?
Yeah, maybe. So, who knows, though? It could be anybody. It could be Uncle Ben as Ronin.
Ooh.
We
What if?
just every character is Ronin. He just passes around.
Hulk.
There's like at the dry cleaners, so everybody always gets the costume on accident. They're like, "Oh, this isn't mine."
Looks like it's my turn this week.
All right,
All right, yeah.
continue.
That's a fun idea for a story. I'm going to go next. I don't think this is too deep of a cut. I'm going to go with a Mirage, but I don't want the classic look. I don't want the first appearance. I'm looking for a little bit more modern. I'm going to go with a Mirage Valkyrie. So I think, whenever you're Asgarding up a character, you're going to have
Yeah.
more of the armor, cool weapons. So I think this would be a really fun look and a very toyetic. Like, I would be happy to have this on my shelf. I'd be happy with a updated classic version too. But I'm just thinking, if we're going to go all out, we got to go all out Valkyrie style.
Right. Okay. I dig it. I think. Yeah. I mean that would be very. That's your exact style with
It
those
is.
winged helmets and everything.
Right.
I mean that's exactly it. And that yeah. I think that is a fun look too because we've gotten. Yeah, I think that'd be a cool look, and maybe that's a segue into my Sif if we get some new
Ooh.
Asgardian tooling or
True.
something like that, some
Yeah.
capes and stuff.
I think it'd be fun too
I
if they
dig
could do because I think the last one that they did, she came with a bow and arrow. But I think if
Yeah.
they're going to do this one, I would want like a translucent yellow bow and arrow. Because I feel like it's more.
Ooh, okay.
Again, I haven't read her like classic first appearance type stuff, so I don't know if she's actually running around with a real like physical bow and arrow. But I feel like a
Right.
lot of the things I've seen more recently, it's more of like a projection, like psi arrow type thing. Not
Yeah.
100% sure on how that all works, but I'm here for it and I want it.
But I want it as a toy.
But I think, all right,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I should have gone first because I've got one more because you've got the
Right.
Build-A-Figure. All right.
Yes. Yeah.
My last
so
one.
You hit us with the last in the wave.
The last on the wave is going to be the deepest of the cuts. This one, I don't know anywhere outside of the George Perez Avengers era that I always talk about. But I think it would be cool if we got to see a Silverclaw, another character that I think would be very cool as an action figure. Look good on the shelf. Probably not the hardest out of this wave to do, but as I say this, I'm kind of like, okay, we've got 2 males in this wave, and the rest are females, which is pretty unheard of for a Marvel Legends wave.
You're right, actually.
So,
Yeah, normally it's reverse.
right. So, I mean, I think the ladies are carrying the wave pretty well here. I think a lot of people would want, maybe there's not as much love for Kushala as I'd like there to be, but I think a lot of people want Kahori at least. A lot of people would want Mirage. So,
Some kind of echo, too.
yeah. Yep, exactly. So,
You know what? Let's do it. We can, it's
can
about
have-
time, man. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
always just the bros in these waves, so let's have some ladies in the wave.
I
I'm
mean,
here
and
for
that's.
it.
I threw on Warpath because I was like, I can't just have a full list of ladies because otherwise I maybe would have put on Firehawk. Is that who it is?
Okay.
So
Yeah,
another
one honorary I had was a Puma, which I know
Yeah.
we've gotten Puma before, but I feel like he could use an update, but I don't know how much of a demand there is for Puma. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the old one is worth too much, but
Yeah, good point.
Some
But all right,
ideas.
so all of these
Okay.
figures come together to build
Yes.
Build-A-Figure, Jordan?
Yes. So I was thinking, and what came to my mind as I was doing some research, some reflecting, was a Werewolf by Night. Now, we just saw a Werewolf by Night, which I'm not too happy about, folks. Dakota knows this too. But this is going to be a different Werewolf by Night because this is going to be Jake Gomez, who I think was introduced in the past few years. But he's a little bit more of like kind of your bigger hulking werewolf. So he's a little bit bigger. He's kind of more just werewolfed out, and he's kind of interesting as a character. I was reading because it's not like he's just based on the full moon. He could learn to like kind of almost control his transformations. So it's kind of like a Hulk, but more like he can control it. But then there's like kind of the supernatural aspects, which I think is a cool idea for a character. So I think, and whether you like the character or just want a big chunky werewolf, I think that would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
It seems like your exact style for a werewolf too, Dakota. And I would probably want it too.
I've never really been too blown away by the Jack Russell version of Werewolf by Night, which I know is the classic and how he should look and everything. But yeah, this one is much more like werewolf monster. Like I would display this one much more proudly, I think, than I would the Jack Russell.
And it'd be fun to see the Legends take, because we got the Legions werewolf that's a little more big coming up. I think it'd be fun, and I think Dwight would love sculpting or putting together the engineering for a Legends big, chunky, substantial werewolf.
Yeah, I mean, I could see I feel like there could. Well, Rintra's got like a whole shirt on, doesn't he? So maybe Rintra doesn't
Yeah,
work
he
as
does.
well. Okay, so I was thinking maybe you could use something there, but you're probably gonna have to go all new. So, which I think this character, like you said, it would branch outside of Marvel Legends even to where other people that just want a cool werewolf, they're not gonna be happy about it being a Build-A-Figure, but
Right.
they're gonna want the figure.
You're gonna want all these figures, so
Let us know if there was any figures that we missed that should have been a part of this wave. Make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. And until next time, stay strong.